Welcome back to another episode of GM Philosophy in the Morning. Today we're talking about abundance mindset, how it relates to D&D games, what is it, why it's important, and I'm going to give you 5 mindset shifts that you can use today to start making your games better. Let's jump into it. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel, friends. I'm the GM Philosopher, and today I want to talk about something maybe a little bit different, something that you might not expect, and that is abundance mentality, an abundance mindset, and how that pertains to D&D and how it can make it more awesome. I want to give you a definition of what an abundance mentality is. First of all, an abundance mentality is a mindset that believes there are enough resources, opportunities, and successes to go around for everyone. It focuses on possibilities, generosity, and collaboration rather than competition, scarcity, or fear of lack. This perspective encourages sharing, gratitude, and a positive outlook, fostering a sense of confidence and openness to new possibilities. Now, you might wonder how this pertains to D&D or TTRPGs in general. I mean, those are games, and abundance is often associated more directly with things like money or career success or even dating or relationships. Having an abundance mentality is often associated with things like overall life success in more concrete metrics that we are provided with when we're measuring the outcomes of things like playing enjoyable TTRPGs. With that being said, I highly believe in the abundance mentality in my life. I believe in it not just for business and money in relationships, but also in fitness. When I conduct my relationships with my friends and family, I believe in it when I am taking care of my cats and dogs and animals. And I also believe in it when I'm playing D&D. And I believe that it has made a massive positive impact. Now, before I move on, I want to encourage you to hit that thumbs up button because I have an abundance mentality goal that I'm going to reach 5,000 subs very soon. So hit that and help me out with that. And feel free to drop me a comment, leave a question, or leave your thoughts on abundance mentality as it pertains to D&D or TTRPGs. But I want to read you a few notes that I've jotted down about this that I think might help to shed some light on why this is important for D&D or why I think it's important. The concept of an abundance mentality is closely associated with positive psychology and personal development philosophies, okay? Particularly those that emphasize growth, optimism, and the power of mindset. Philosophically, the idea aligns with humanistic and existential thought, which focuses on personal growth, self-actualization, and the potential for individuals to shape their own experiences. It also has connections to the principles of abundance found in spiritual and New Thought movements, which emphasize the law of attraction, positive thinking, and the belief that one's mindset can influence their reality. Overall, while not rooted in a single traditional philosophy, an abundance mentality draws from a variety of modern psychological and philosophical ideas and encourage individuals to adopt a positive, expansive approach to life. Now, you might be asking, what does this have to do with D&D? What does this have to do with playing TTRPGs with your friends? And I'm going to explain that here in just a moment. But real quick, before we go into that, I want to let you know that I have a free ebook called The Ultimate Plot Randomizer. It's filled with D100 tables that will help you to random roll plot arcs on the fly wherever you are, rolling the hook, the conflict, the conclusion, and even wild and wacky stuff to add to it. You can join my mailing list by clicking on the link in the description. When you do, this ebook will come free in your first email. And I send out emails every week. So there's a lot of cool resources and stuff in there. So please consider joining and checking it out to stay up to date. You can also join my Discord. The link to that is in the description. We're doing pretty cool stuff in there. It's super fun. Come hang out with us. All right, now let's talk about this business of abundance mentality and how it relates to D&D. Now, I've written down 5 steps, 5 kind of like items, you might call these 5 ideas, ways that abundance mentality actually can affect your game in a positive way, maybe in ways that you've never even thought about before. And I'm going to describe them for you. I have really focused on trying to foster all of these in my own games, and the results have been pretty fantastic. I feel like I have so much more fun. I'm so much more relaxed. My games are so much more fun. They're more magnetic. Players want to keep coming back to them when I engage these 5 like mindset shifts. Okay. So number 1, embrace player creativity. Encourage players to explore unconventional ideas and reward their creativity rather than sticking rigidly to rules. By not being afraid of players being super creative and not having that scarcity mentality of like losing control of the game through letting your players be creative, you can develop an abundance mentality where you are just comfortable with the game existing as it is and you'll just arbitrate as needed and all will be well. And this leads us to number two: share the spotlight. Ensure every player has opportunities to shine. An abundance mindset means there's enough time and attention for everyone, enhancing group cohesion and individual satisfaction. Sometimes I get stressed feeling like I'm spending too much time on one person when other players are waiting to play. And this anxiety causes me to want to hurry through the interaction. But this is not an abundance mentality. Yes, you can totally track time and make time equal, and you can do this responsibly. You can use egg timers, you can do all kinds of things. But I'm talking more about the worry and the anxiety that comes from it, rather than just having the abundance mindset of just enjoying the game and enjoying the experience of role play and the interactions and realizing that it's okay if you go a little bit over on time. And this leads to number three: collaborate on storytelling. View the game as a shared storytelling experience where all contributions matter and where everyone is going to win. So often as GMs, we can get this sort of me versus you mentality and we don't even realize we're doing it. But if they start beating up on your monster and it just starts to kind of feel like, man, this is kind of a joke. Like, maybe you're getting down on yourself. Maybe you're even a little salty at them for just waylaying the creature that you thought was going to be a fun challenge, whatever it is. The truth of the matter is that we are all here to game together, sharing a shared storytelling narrative that is created in our imaginations, that is very real in the sense that we experience it with our real emotions, our real feelings. And the truth is, there's nothing to be lost by everyone winning. And as the GM, even if your monster gets clobbered to death much sooner than you thought, you are still actually winning because the players, if they're having a good time and they're engaging in the game, this is a good sign. It's a sign that you're probably doing a really good job. So try to let that anxiety, that scarcity mentality, that negative emotion, just let it go and just try to focus on that positive mindset, this abundance mindset of this is awesome. We're creating something special together. And that leads me to number four: focus on possibilities, not limitations. When players face challenges or make unexpected decisions, focus on what can happen rather than what can't. And this really comes down to how we relate to players. I love to have an abundance mentality when I'm engaging with my players. It's like, oh, you want to climb in that monster's mouth and light him on fire from the inside, rather than trying to just stick too closely to the rules, rather than closing my mind off to the infinite possibilities of role play. I want to try to figure out, how could I empower my player to do this instead of having a scarcity mindset or a fear mindset of being like, no, I don't want to break the game. I don't want you to do something too powerful, right? Of course, we want to maintain a good power balance. However, it's so important that we keep that abundance mentality flowing so that we can stay open to the unlimited possibilities and then just enjoy some of the wildness that comes from that without, once again, that those negative emotions, that anxiety, that fear, that maybe feeling down about ourselves or being worried that it's going to break the game. Sometimes, believe it or not, the game can even get broken and it can be okay. And that leads us really to our final tip: foster a positive environment. An abundance mentality encourages a game environment where mistakes are seen as learning opportunities and everyone is free to experiment without fear of failure. This reduces tension and increases enjoyment for all. I have said this before and I'll say it again, and I believe it so much. The crucial primary skill for any successful GM is basic human kindness and positivity. I've heard it said, and there's a good point to be made, that communication is the first skill. However, if you can communicate really well, but then you are not kind or positive, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. So if you're a GM, you probably have some level of communication skills already. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have gotten the job and gotten people to show up at your game. So I'm calling positivity and kindness the default GM skill and the most crucial and important GM skill. And this fits right in line with that abundance mentality. Just sit at your table, take a deep breath, and just let it happen. Just play the game, have fun, and don't worry too much about the stuff that could go wrong or the rules that could get broken or how the game could get broken or anything like that. Because when you start worrying down those things and going down that road of like a scarcity mentality, that becomes infectious to the players. And so does an abundance mentality. When you allow that abundance to just kind of ripple off of you, this has an effect that draws people to you. It draws good experiences to you. Why? Because that's you actively looking for them. And chance favors the prepared mind, as they say. We're probably going to find what we look for. As they say, if you are a hammer, everything around you is going to look like a nail. So if you are an abundance mentality game master, most likely your game is going to be filled with positivity, abundance, and plenty of fun for everyone. So there you go. There's my 2 cents on that. Hey, thank you so much for dropping by. I'm here almost every morning creating videos about the best game in the world, D&D. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.